I can't. I can't do this anymore. You win. You fucking win. You took everything from me. My pride, my youth, my dignity, my money, my kids, my God. You stripped me down to nothing. I don't even know who the hell I am anymore. Why should I care? I'm broken. I'm fucking broken. I ran out of options. You said forever, I believed that shit. Built my whole world and watched it split. Calling your phone like a fool at 2 a.m. Typing long messages I should've never sent. Reread old texts like they meant something still. Begging for pieces of something you didn't feel. Apologize for shit I didn't even do, just to keep you close, just to not lose you. You said I was insecure, maybe you're right. Started doubting my gut, started losing the fight. Saw the red flags, just couldn't accept it was true. So I lied to myself while you lied too. Kept asking why, like it would bring you back. Like if I solved the puzzle, it would fix the crack. But some questions don't heal, they just mess with your pride. Every answer I chase just hollow me inside. Some questions don't save you, they just break you inside. I'm broken, I'm hollow inside. I'm hollow inside. Broken around like I already died. I already cried. Ran out of tears that same damn night. Just go with my emotions, with nothing inside. I'm broken, I'm hollow inside. Our blood meant loyalty, our friends meant stay. When shit got heavy, they drifted away. Listening to rumors before they heard me. Building whole stories about who I must be. Tried to explain, tried to defend. Watched eyes glaze over like that was the end. Every room I walked in felt cold as hell. Smiles felt fake, I could damn well tell. Protected my name, but it didn't matter. Integrity feels weak when your circle shatters. Stop speaking up, stop telling my side. When nobody believes you, you shut down inside. Something in me started dying slow. Not loud, not dramatic, just letting it go. I'm broken, I'm hollow inside. Walking around like I already died. I'm broken, I already cried. Ran out of tears that same damn night. Just go. Going through motions with nothing inside. I'm broken, I'm hollow inside. I'm hollow inside. I'm hollow inside. Pray till my voice went hoarse. Pray till my knees went numb. Laid everything at the altar, still nothing come. Played in my case like a lawyer. Laid out my proof, said God, you see this shit still no move. Fasted in your name, gave offerings and faith. Turned down what I wanted just to walk your way. Minister love to strangers, told them you never fail. Held their hands through storms while mine went through hell. Served with conviction, did it from the heart. But when I was breaking, you stayed silent in the dark. Cried till my chest went tight, till my words ran dry. Said, Father, protect me, got no damn reply. On my knees like, what the hell is this? Trying to hold faith while losing my grip. It broke me worse than betrayal or shame. Feeling abandoned after screaming your name. Thought I earned protection after all that I gave. Wasn't that enough just to be saved? All I got back was silence every damn time. Go to sleep stressed, every damn thought saying I'm less of a man, less than my best. Mirror don't lie, I don't recognize me. This ain't a phase, this is depression. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once believed. 'Cause I can't hold on to what I once beli don't want to move anyway. Open the laptop, send another resume, refresh, nothing. Close it, sit there. Bills still due, phone still quiet. Go to sleep, Loken.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Real quick community guidelines before we start the show. Now I want y'all to know that this is a space for respectable, thought-provoking conversations. We encourage intelligent discussions, different viewpoints, and respectable debates. Disagree if you want, but do it with substance and respect. Self-promotion is not allowed. This is not your billboard. Links, spam, and promotions in the comments or in live chat will be blocked immediately. Distasteful trolling, insults, or bad faith behavior will not be entertained. You will be blocked and banned. No warnings, no back and forth. Finally, y'all will notice that the subscriber mode is on. It is only for 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. That way we can protect the integrity of the show and also protect the integrity of people who actually want to comment in the comment section faithfully. All right. We're here to think, challenge ideas, and grow, and not derail the conversation. If you're here in good faith, then I welcome you. Y'all enjoy the show. Salute, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Urban Lounge Podcast. I'm Urban. Appreciate y'all so much. Happy Wednesday to y'all. Hope you had a great and phenomenal day so far. Got things taken care of that you need to take care of, and all that good old stuff. Now, on today's episode, this is going to be kind of different from the normal red pill content that I cover over here. Today's episode, it was actually inspired by one of my songs that I have put out. Okay, those of y'all who've been following my channel, right? I've been putting out a lot of songs lately. These songs I've been putting out lately been telling a story about things that happened to me in my life. I felt that it was appropriate for me to share my experience with y'all, through my songwriting. And so that's what I've been doing. And I've been sharing this for the past almost like 5 or 6 months. One of the songs that I have put out just recently kind of caused a little bit of a stir on my DJ Urban T channel. All right. So I had got a lot of feedback on this song. And so we're going to talk about it tonight. All right. Because I feel like that this conversation not only is going to be appropriate for me, but I believe that this conversation is going to be appropriate for other people as well too. Because I honestly believe that other people have or is experiencing this same type of phenomenon that I am dealing with right now. Now, the title of this live episode is simply saying my beef with God. Now, once again, this title of this episode is talking about my beef with God. Now, notice what I say. I didn't say my former beef with God. I didn't say my previous beef with God. I'm saying my beef with God as it current, even right now, still to this day. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to share with you my story about why I have a beef with God. Okay? I'm going to break it down. I'm going to share it with you. I'm also going to give y'all some spiritual or scriptural reference for people who are Christians or, believe in the Bible or believe in God, and all that good old stuff. I'm going to give you scriptural references to back up my claim about me having a beef with God. But before we get to that, right, before we get to that, a couple of things. I see 23 people watching right now. Appreciate y'all a whole lot. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up to support the channel, okay? Go ahead and hit the thumbs up, because I believe this live tonight is really going to help people for real. It really is. Because I honestly believe that people feel the same way I feel, but they just afraid to express it like how I'm expressing it. All right? So, without further ado, I think it's fair for me to actually play the actual song so y'all can have context to this whole conversation tonight. All right, so let me go ahead and play this song in its entirety, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna have the conversation. All right.
God, you hear me right now? I know you're supposed to hear everything. Omnipresent, omniscient, all that, right? Funny how it feels like I'm talking and you ain't listening. Gotcha. So since you quiet, I'll keep talking. There's some things I gotta say to you tonight. DJ Urban T! God, I pray till my knees hit the floor. Hands locked. Tie your son calling on you. Ask for direction, ask for a way. Trying to stay patient, trying to keep faith. They said you hear when a man calls your name, but every prayer I sing gets lost in my pain. Damn, I stay faithful, I know I'm living right. Thinking my loyalty will bring your favor tonight. But the longer I talk, I hear nothing at all. Starting to feel like I'm talking a wall. Yeah. There's something else I need to say to you. Explain how the one that hurt me shining through. She's smiling, thriving, life looking blessed, while I'm still carrying weight in my chest. You saw every lie, you saw every tear that fell. You saw how that whole thing went to hell. So explain to me how the hell she walking in the light, while I'm still fighting demons every night. I ain't wishing bad on the life, but I'm upset, jealous that you chose the favor over me. Damn. God, I've been talking, but you don't reply. All these damn prayers going up to the sky. I stayed faithful, I did everything right, but you kept silent through all of my fights. Silent. Now I'm standing here questioning everything. All this pain got me saying one thing. I got beef with you. God, I tried rebuilding the life I lost. Every step forward comes with a cost. Every door I knock on slam in my face, like you purposely moving me out of place. I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm trying to stand tall, but every new move feels like I fall. I get back up, refuse to quit, but every time I rise, you knock it back down quick. Tell me, God, what the hell am I missing? What? Cause every road I take you close in my face, yeah. God, I pray with tears, but nothing would change. Like fat and more pressure, more weight, more pain. Not even here when the next storm came. Every night I'm still calling on you, demanding answers. You still silent. I gave you my faith, trusted your plan. Now it's hard to see any damn plan. The longer this silence keeps dragging on, the more you did me wrong. God, I've been talking, but you don't reply. All these damn prayers going up to the sky. I stayed faithful, I did everything right, but you kept silent through all of my fights. Silent. Now I'm standing here questioning everything. All this pain got me saying one thing. So yeah, God, now we got a problem. I begged for help, and you never answered. I cried, I prayed, I stayed faithful, did everything right, and you still stay silent. Maybe this all some tests. Maybe you shaping me through pain. But right now, I'm too damn angry to see it. 'Cause all I feel is the silence. And all that silence turned into one thing. I got beef with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. Let me ask y'all something. Have you ever felt like God let you down? Not people, not life, God. Like you did everything right, stayed disciplined, you stayed solid, and things end up falling apart. This is where I'm at. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a church talk. This is not me preaching a sermon to you. This is me being transparent and being real to you tonight. Tonight, I'm going to break down the reason why I have beef with God. And this beef is still current as of right now. My emotions, how I feel about God, and God know this. My emotions, how I feel about God is I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. I feel like the major father or parent in my life had let me down. It's the one same feeling how children have parents, right, who let them down. Like, say, for example, you have an absent father, right? Where as a child, you hope and pray that one day your absent father will come back and you'll be able to confront that absent father and express how the way you felt about him not being present in your life. To me, it's the same equivalent of that, of a child dealing with a situation like that. Now, once again, this is my personal experience dealing with God. This may not be yours, or you may is dealing with this, or you may have dealt with this. But once again, this is my story. Because let's be real. Let's be real. I honestly believe that people don't say this out loud what I'm saying. I also believe that a lot of people fake having faith. Once again, I also believe that people fake having faith. But the Bible shows something different, y'all. In Psalms chapter 13, verse 1, it says this, right? It says, how long, Lord? How long, Lord? Will you forget from me forever? Will you forget about me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? And this is coming from David. Also in Job chapter 30, right, verse 20, it says this. I cried out to you, God, but you do not answer. I stand up, but you merely look at me. I want y'all to understand that both of these scriptures with Job and with David and Psalms, right? They're not expressing a weakened faith. But what they're doing in reality is giving an honest truth about their faith. Now, here's my issue. There was a point in time in my life where I did everything right to the best of my ability. I did everything right, and I also took some L's as well too. You know what? By me thinking about this, right, I'm thinking about also the Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 14, where it says there is something else meaningless that occurs on earth. The righteous who will get what the wicked deserve, and the wicked who gets what the righteous deserve. That verse of scripture is real. Also, there was a moment where David has said in Psalms 22 in verse 2, he has said this. He said, "My God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer." This scripture hits home to me is because it talks about the silence part about God. When I was going through my major thing with God, and I'm not going to go into details on this stream because I talk about it all the time on this channel, but when I was going through this thing, right, I prayed to God. I did everything possible to even get God's attention because I was in need in this particular situation. But by me praying, by me doing other things as well too, fasting, tithing, giving offering, God remained silent to me. And so when God remained silent to me, by, me being human, I started asking the question, why? I started trying to figure out why. You know that I'm going through the stuff that I'm going through. Why you're not answering me? Why you're not hearing my call, hearing my prayers? I know I'm a righteous person. I know I'm not the perfect person in the world. I know that even through my lifetime, I make mistakes. But I'm not an evil person. I'm not a person who worship evil, worship idols, demonic entities, or anything like that. And I serve the Most High with all my heart. But yet still God was silenced through the one trial and tribulation that I have been through. I want to take out deeper into this, okay? Because once again, I want y'all to understand my heart behind this, all right? When I was serving the Most High God, right? I was serving the Most High God through ministry. My last role in the call in the ministry was that I was a associate pastor. I was out helping the pastor and overseer of the church. I was helping them out taking care of the congregation. Whenever he traveled, I was literally leading the whole entire church services. I was doing a lot. I was a worship leader. I did outreach ministry. I helped with youth ministry. I was bringing in the homeless into our church, and even having the homeless in the church, where they literally end up being converted and gave their life to Christ. And by me doing all this work, you know what I'm saying, I'm not doing it because I'm bragging to y'all. I'm not bragging about my accolades or anything like that by any matrix. Oh, I also went out into the homeless ministry as well too, going out to the homeless and everything. But once again, I'm not bragging just to share my accolades to y'all. But I want y'all to understand that everything that I did, I didn't do it for no rewards. My heart wasn't doing it because I'm trying to find a seat in heaven. My heart wasn't in it because I wanted to get my mansion in heaven. My heart wasn't doing it because I was afraid of God. I was afraid that if I didn't do it, then I'd go to hell. But I did it because I genuinely had a love for God. When I left the church and stuff, right, like after when I do my assignments at church, right, or whatever I'm doing, I didn't expect no audience. I didn't expect no validations. I didn't even expect no expectations, nothing like that. In fact, my brothers and sisters, I never asked God for anything, period. Never asked God for anything in return. And that's how you know when you love someone unconditionally, is when you literally sacrifice yourself, even your well-being, just so you can make that person happy. And think about it, I enjoyed it. I enjoy every moment of it because it made my life fulfilling. It gave my life purpose. You know, in Colossians chapter 3, verse 23, 24, just to sum it up, it says this, that whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. And that's what I literally did. Then also Matthew chapter 6, verse 1, it says this, be careful not to practice your righteousness to be seen by them. And that's what I did. Then finally in 1 Samuel 16:7, it simply just says, the Lord looks at your heart. So with all these things that I'm saying right now, I honestly believe that God examined my heart, and God had chose me for this purpose, because he knew that I wasn't going to be doing this, for any gain or monetary gain, or to gain, members or congregations or anything like that. He knew that I was going to do it with my whole heart. And I was proud of that. So in my mind, God saw my heart. And I believe with that, everything in me. But then guess what, y'all? Life hit. Life hit. I ended up taking my first L ever in my life. And a hard one. When I was going through the circumstances that I was going through, right, ladies and gentlemen, I was trying to figure it out. And then when it came to a point where I couldn't figure it out no more, that's when I finally asked for something real. That's when I came to God and asked God for his help. But guess what happened? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I got silence. I got the cold shoulder. And this is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, I made the analogy that it's similar to how a child feels when they want their absent parent or their absent father to return into their life and give them answers. But it never happens. I never receive any type of closure. Never receive any type of answers whatsoever. Now I know what some of you will say. Some of you say this. You'll say that, brother, God will, speak to other people to speak to you. And that's how I found in Danny. But the truth behind that is that I never even received that. Never received that. Dead silence. David, he was saying in Psalms 4, he said, answer me when I call you, right? Then he also reemphasized this in Psalms 102 when he said that when I call, he expects for God to answer him quick. See, in David's mind in the Bible, he felt that he had a relationship with God. And to be honest with you, rightfully so, he did. Because when the times when David had asked for God help in God prayer, God literally came and assisted him. We're going to get deeper into this, y'all, because once again, I want y'all to understand my heart behind this, okay? I want y'all to understand my heart that, my beef with God is still ongoing. It is going right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. And I see you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in to the stream. Just like I say, this is not the normal Red Pill episode that I'm not sharing with y'all. This is an episode that I believe that it's whoever's here to listen to this. This is for them to listen to this. Okay. And I appreciate y'all a whole lot. Zoran, I see you in the building. What's up, man? True First, bro, see you in the building as well, too. Traverse, I see you in the building. Appreciate you as well. Then my moderator, Lino, I see you as well, too, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate all y'all tuning in and everyone who is also either watching in the bushes or you're catching the replay of the stream. Appreciate y'all tuning in to this stream. We're having a conversation right now about me sharing my current ongoing beef with God. Let's dive deeper into this, y'all. And I go into the comments later, all right. But let's go deep into this. Let's go deep into this. Because I believe that this part is very important too of my story. Now, I was sharing with you when I was going through my situations, God never answered. He never came to my aid. And I had to just figure this thing out on my own. Y'all want to know what was the worst part about this? The worst part wasn't just about God not aiding me when I needed him the most. That wasn't the worst part. The worst part is dealing with people. The worst part is people judging. Not judging righteously, by the way. Not judging righteously, but judging unrighteously. Judging based on their personal anecdotal experience. People say this. People say that you shouldn't question God. People say that you need to repent. But I want to remind y'all of this. I want to remind y'all that in Job chapter 4, verse 7, a conversation had happened with Job. That conversation was between Job and his friends. They say, who's been innocent? Who has ever perished? Then later on in Job, if you put away your sins, you will stand firm. Meaning that Job's three friends, instead of them understanding Job's heart and understand that at the end of the day that this man is human. For him to feel the way he felt, it was very justifiable. Instead of them understanding that, they assumed what he was doing was wrong. And they judge him unrighteously. They say the same exact things. Where they'll quote scriptures, where they'll sit up here and say that now you is wrong, we are right. You done backslid. It was your faults. It was your faults that the situations is happening to you. Obviously, you had to do something wrong. Obviously, you had to do something wrong. Obviously, you deserve the things that God is putting you through. Oh, here's the best part. Here's the best one. Through God's suffering, you will come out righteous. But I want to remind y'all this. I want to remind y'all that even in Job, right, God literally had corrected his friends. God had came out and corrected his friends and told them in Job chapter 42, verse 7, that said this, you have not spoken the truth about me. What did he mean by that? He's literally telling his Job friends that the things that you did as a representation of me was false. So now, I don't agree with people telling me that I'm wrong for being honest, that I'm wrong for feeling the way that I'm feeling, that I'm wrong for having beef with God. Because here's another thing that I want to share with you. If I am wrong, if I'm in error, then this situation would have been rectified a long time ago, where God would even brighten my mouth and keep me from speaking to you in this moment. The moment when I said that I have beef with God, when I declared that not only with my mind but with my heart, God would have rectified it right then and there. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, he haven't. He haven't. So it is nothing wrong with a person saying that not only they have beef with God, but they have any type of disdain with God. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Nothing wrong with questioning God. A matter of fact, it is nowhere in biblical scriptures, those of y'all who believe in the Christian Bible, right? It is nowhere in biblical scriptures where it condemns anyone for questioning God. You know, in James chapter 1, verse 2 and 3, it talks about this. It said that the tests of your faith produce perseverance, right? But here's the thing about that I find hard to accept. The reason why I find this hard to accept is because, once again, I want y'all to be very clear on this. Just because I have beef with God, that doesn't mean I don't believe in God. Just because I have beef with God, that doesn't mean I'm this self-righteous son of a gun who's disrespecting God. No, that ain't what that mean at all. What that mean is that I am just a normal man, a normal human being, expressing my emotions. No more different from a human, especially in their emotions. Another reason why I kind of find this hard to accept is because of this. I find this hard to accept because of this whole concept about favor. I have heard plenty of people say this all the time. They say this. They say that they are blessed and highly favored by God. And they'll demonstrate that they're blessed and highly favored by God. They will say things that, what they say, oh, favor ain't fair. They'll say things like that. They will also demonstrate it in scripture. They'll say that, hey, if Noah had favor in God, then obviously I have favor in God. They'll also say this in Luke, where Jesus said that you are highly favored. They'll also reference Genesis, where they'll say that God grant him favor. And even in Psalms we would talk about God surrounded them in favor. But I have a problem with this. The reason why I have a problem with this is because this is implying that God is impartial or showing favor to people in certain situations, just to fulfill a story or fulfill his will, while other people are dealing with these situations, meaning that he is allowing these situations to happen. I have an issue with that. Since we're talking about the concept of favor, right? Do y'all know that Acts chapter 10, it talks about, it says that God does not show favoritism? Do y'all know that? Once again, Acts says that God does not show favoritism. And also in Romans, it says that for God does not show favoritism. And also in Deuteronomy, it says that he shows no partiality. Period. So my question is this. Which one is it? Which one is it? Is the Bible, do the Bible have a double standard to where one moment God is showing favor to a certain selected individuals, then the next moment he don't show favor? Or is it all built into this one universal system that God had created, where he could exercise, that he could show favor at one moment with individuals, then show partiality with other individuals? Which one is it? Because to my understanding, if we're talking about the concept of favor, right, isn't not favor also means it goes along with the concept with purpose? If that's true, right, if that's a true statement, then it shouldn't have any type of preference whatsoever, meaning that individuals shouldn't be selected for this type of favor or this type of purpose. But I have an issue with that. Now I know what y'all thinking, right? I know y'all thinking about Isaiah, where you're talking about my thoughts are not your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Say the Lord. I get it. I understand that. I get it. Or maybe through this grand scheme of things, right, I just simply don't understand God's overall plan. And once again, I'm talking about my life. Maybe I don't understand the whole grand scheme of the plan. I don't know. And I do want to be clear with y'all. I do want to be really clear that, once again, my beef with God is still ongoing, still to this day. But even though I still have this beef with God, right, Even though the situation that I went through and I literally had to figure it out on my own and just accepted it, cope, adapt, and move on, that wound is still in my heart, still to this day. And the reason why that wound is still in my heart to this day is not because I didn't do the work to try to heal it, which I have, but that wound is still in my heart today because I never received closure from it. And I want y'all to think about that. Have you ever been in a situation where, you dealt with right and you just accepted it for what it is and you never received any type of closure from it whatsoever? You just pretty much adapted, for your sanity purposes. You just adapted and just, continue to live your life. That's me. That's where I'm at. Never receive any type of closure whatsoever. It's kind of like the ones, cause another concept, over here on the Lamb Channel, we talk about a lot of red pill stuff over here. It's kind of like the same situation, when you're in a relationship with a person and y'all break up, right? But when you break up, you don't receive that type of closure, so you could be free from that and be able to be free and move on. That's where I'm at, where I'm not free. I feel like that I'm still trapped in a prison. I feel like that due to me not receiving this closure, I'm in this prison. In this prison that with everything in me, I really do want to get out of. I don't want to have beef with God. I don't. I want to go back to how it was in the past, where me loving God with everything in me. That's where I want to go back to. But since I have not received this closure, it's hard for me to get back to that moment. It's hard for me to open my heart up to the Most High God. Simply because I haven't received this closure, I haven't received this resolve. And once again, I want y'all to understand this. My closure is just simply wanting my question to be answered. Why, God? Why? The request that I wanted from God wasn't complicated. It wasn't difficult. It wasn't nothing outrageous. Like, some people, they'll pray to God for healing. They'll pray for God to, have demons exorcising them. They'll pray to God to have, financial blessings. They'll pray to God, to do all kind of stuff, right? So I see people, at sporting events, right? I see people at sporting events where they'll literally sit up here be praying to God that their favorite team will win. And I'm looking at all this and just, noticing and just witnessing this, right? And I'm like, if it's like that, if it's that simple, then why the hell God didn't answer my prayer? Why God didn't come to my aid? Was my request that complicated to where God gave me the cold shoulder like an absent father? Do y'all know in Genesis 32, right? Do y'all know that Jacob had wrestled with God? Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that Jacob wrestled with God? And I'm talking about literally wrestled with God. Or you could say with an angel. That's fine. Wherever your interpretation is, that's fine. But he literally wrestled. But even though that happened, Jacob survived. And that dude still, God bless. I know some of y'all were questioning about, belief. Questioning that maybe Urban, it's your belief. You didn't believe hard enough. So I wanna ask this question. How can a individual believe to the point where God will literally answer the call and do what he's supposed to do as a father? How much belief do it takes for that to happen? Because I'm familiar with Matthew chapter 21 about whosoever believes, right? And I know that whenever you believe, you're praying, you believe and stuff like that, right? But I want to tell y'all that each prayer, each petition, each time that I bow down, I postulate myself, I cried, I fast, I pray, did every damn thing possible to get God's attention. Everything possible to get his attention. And I believe that with everything in me. And it wasn't no selfish prayer. It wasn't no self-righteous prayer. It was literally a prayer of faith. Even when I started noticing the first time around when God didn't answer my prayer, I still have faith and hope, hoping that God is going to answer. But even through my hope, that's when situations got worse. It literally got worse instead of better. And so at that moment, when I'm giving it my all, I done gave my all. I done served to the Most High God. I did everything, not just so I can impress him in his name, but I did everything because I love God. Everything because I love God. Everything. And then the moment when I needed him the most in my life, nothing. Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the moment of time where, for the first time in my life, I became broken. Just like those of y'all who was on the pre-show, right? I had shared with y'all my song about broken. At that moment of time, that's when I literally became broken. And through that brokenness, that's when, honestly, my beef began with God. And I want y'all to understand my heart on this. Even still to this day, even though I have beef with God, deep down, I still love God. I still care about God. I still believe in God. Even things that I do, even right now, even on YouTube, I do it because this is my duty. I do it because I believe and have faith with everything in my heart that this is where God wanted me to be at. It's to have a channel on YouTube and share with y'all about experiences and to help my fellow brothers get to the point of life of where they need to be at. And once again, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to get God attention. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to get God favor. I'm not doing it so I can have a seat in heaven. Because at the end of the day, none of that don't matter to me. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about, I put it to y'all this way. And once again, this is me. If something were to happen to me today in this moment where, I end up passing away or whatever, right? Do you know that it wouldn't matter to me whether from I go to heaven or go to hell or the purgatory or wherever people believe in? Do you know that don't even matter to me at all? I don't care about none of that. Now, it's not the point that I feel like I don't deserve it, because I do. But through my heart, I honestly believe that wherever the righteous judgment of the Most High God is going to have me, then I have totally accepted it, wherever it is. Now, a lot of people can't say that, because a lot of people want to have their own mansion in heaven. A lot of people do things in this world so they could have the ultimate prize when they pass away. So a lot of people cannot confess and say what I just said, where it doesn't matter to me, and whatever righteous judgment you have on me, then I will accept it wholeheartedly. A lot of people don't even have the courage to say what I'm saying tonight about having beef with God, because a lot of people have covered up their program, religion. Once again, they have covered up their programming of religion, not their relationship with the Most High God, but they have covered up their programming through religion to cover up issues that they truly have. Many of us right now, we are dealing with a whole lot of mental issues with us. Instead of us coping with it, we use religion to cover it up. Those of y'all who are watching right now, y'all wonder why the churches are the way that it is right now, and it's in the condition that it is right now. This is the reason why. It's because you have people who have mental issues, mental disorders. Instead of them acknowledging and dealing with it accordingly, they use religion. They use God to cover up the truth about them. And then go quote scriptures and different things like that and pretend that they're righteous, but they're not. They are the one. They're the seed of the devil, for real. Like, real talk. Like, real talk. But me, on the other hand, I could honestly tell y'all that I'm dealing with everything that goes on with me. I don't have any mental issues or anything like that, other than my disdain for God. At one point in my life, when I was going through the circumstance I was going through, yes, I had suffered from depression from it. Absolutely. But I'm not going to cover it up. I'm not going to sit up here and quote scriptures to make it feel better, to make me feel better. I'm going to tell the truth and be honest with you. Now, once again, the experience that I'm sharing with y'all tonight, this is my story. If you accept it, it's fine. If you don't accept it, it's fine too. But I believe at this moment right now, those of y'all who are watching, 50 people are watching right now, and there's going to be more people who's going to watch the replay of this too. I believe the moment when you clicked on this video, This was your moment. This is your moment to hear that's a normal man. That's all I am. I'm a normal man, a normal dude. Am I chosen by God? I would like to say that I am, but I don't know if my father is being a absentee father to me at this moment. So I don't know. But this moment is for y'all. This moment for y'all to really to be quite honest with you, to dig deep in your heart and see truly where you at with God. Do you truly believe in God like you say you believe in God? Do you truly love God like you truly say that you love God? Or you sit up here being an actor in the play? Jesus, he said this. He said in Matthew chapter 6. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, when he was talking to the Pharisees and Sadducees, he was calling them hypocrites. A hypocrite is simply an actor, a pretender. So are you pretending to be this so righteous person of God that you don't got issues? Then whenever a person do have issues, you can judge them unrighteously because you feel like that you got it together, you got it right. But in reality, you really don't got it together. You really don't got it right. But you only pretending that you do because you're hiding behind a church. You're hiding behind your religion. There are people who are declare themselves as being atheists. And you know the reason why, the true reason why people become atheists, right? This is the true reason why people become atheists. God honest. The true reason why people become atheists, where they don't believe in a God, period, is not necessarily because of their experience that they have dealt with, between their relationship between them and God. But it deals with people. It's deal with the people and the culture that they're around to create this determining factor where it be people that would do an unrighteous judgment on them. And then from there, they end up losing all hope because of people. They end up disconnecting because of people. So this moment of time, this is for y'all. I believe that in this moment of time, this is for you to personally examine yourself and see where your true relationship is with God. Do you truly love God? If so, what if you end up dealing with the same situation that I had dealt with, where God literally don't answer you, period? Where God don't answer your prayers. You're dealing with a tough situation. Maybe it's a death from a loved one that you care about. Maybe someone had did something to you and you know that they need to be judged about. Maybe you're dealing with your health where, you're on your deathbed and you're really, really trying to be healed. And through all these situations, maybe you have dealt with situations where any one of your loved ones had either raped you or molested you unrighteously. And through that situation, God don't answer you. He stay quiet. Would your faith will remain the same through the silence? Will your faith remain the same through the hurt? Will your faith remain the same through the pain? Will your faith remain the same when God becomes an absent father? This is something that you should be thinking about. And really be thinking about this hard, to really test if you truly love God how the way you love God. Or is it all a ruse? You just pretending. One thing that I do want to leave y'all with is this. I want to leave y'all with that, first of all, yes, my beef with God is still pending. My beef with God is valid because God is allowing it to be valid. My beef with God is going to still continue to go until one day God decides to not be an absent father to me and decide to answer the call. If he decides to do that. And I want y'all to understand that if God doesn't decide to do that, I am more than willing and accepted to accept the fact that I can die in my grave still having beef with God. And I can accept dying in my grave that God never answered my prayer. He never came to my aid. He never gave me an answer. And I can accept that. But even through this, I still have faith and I still believe in him. It's hard. God is very hard. But I do. So I want to leave y'all with these thoughts to think about in your life. When it comes down to when you're dealing with true suffering. When you're dealing with true suffering, not this little pity pat suffering, but true suffering. How to handle it. Will you have beef with God like me and be honest about it? Will you want to go to God? Or are you going to lie to yourself? And I want to leave y'all with that thoughts. Now I've been looking at the comments, and I appreciate the comments that y'all been sharing with me today. A lot of y'all been coming a lot in here, so I'm not gonna want to go over all of them. Zoran asked me, do he wants to pray for me? The answer to the question is no, brother. I do not want you to pray for me. I do not want you to pray for me. I don't want nobody to pray for me at all, period. Because some people heart, when they pray for people, right, it don't be in a righteous sense. It deals with pride and ego, just to prove a point. Now here's another thing too. If you have to ask for permission to pray for someone, that lets you know right off the bat about the pride and ego. That it don't have nothing to do with you literally trying to pray for me, but it have everything to do that you're trying to prove yourself, not only to me, but you're trying to prove to yourself that you are a worthy servant of God. And so therefore your prayer becomes egotistical instead of wholeheartedly. And I learned this concept through ministry. When I did serve in ministry, I never asked for people, I never asked people permission to pray for them, ever. But what I have did is this: I have prayed for them, and I didn't have to walk up to them and lay hands on them. I didn't have to do none of that. I did it privately. Because of the scripture says under the fervent prayer avails much, meaning that the prayers that you pray privately is going to be way more beneficial and powerful than the prayers that you're trying to pray out publicly. And Jesus even talked about this in Matthew chapter 6, where he was talking about the Pharisees and Sadducees, where they wanted to do this public spectacle trying to pray for people. But he had rebuked them and told them not to do that. But you do it in private. And all of this is simply because of what I'm telling you right now. Because it's not because you're doing it wholeheartedly. You're doing it because you're being egotistical. Because you're trying to prove a point. And it's that simple. Yeah, Mario, I agree with you, brother. I agree with your point. Yeah, and that's what I had to do as well too, brother. Is that I had to let everything go. I had to let everything go. But the only thing that I'm struggling with letting go is what I'm talk to y'all about right now. Is this whole concept with me having this beef with God. And the only reason why it's so hard for me to let go is because I haven't gained closure from it yet. Do y'all know that it's actually morally wrong to tell someone when they need to normally forgive them, but also tell someone that they need to let a situation go? Like, here's another example. I believe one of the gentlemen in here, there was I was reading the comments, right? There was one of the gentlemen, he was saying that he had a loss, right? Loss of a loved one. And I'm pretty sure at one point in time, right, that somebody had walked up to him and told him that, hey, it's time for you to let that person go. It's time for you to start grieving. That moment is wrong. Because you can't tell no one when it's time for them to stop grieving. You can't tell someone when it's time for them to let things go. Because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know the circumstances. You don't know where their heart is at. You don't know the journey that they're going through to try to figure this thing out. You don't know if they have received closure from that or not. If they received the closure. You don't know that. So even in the same situation with me, when I keep reemphasizing over and over again that I simply haven't received closure from this. So when I see comments and stuff where people talking about, well, you need to pray harder, you wasn't praying good enough, you didn't believe, and different things like that, that is the equivalent of telling me that I need to let it go. That's the equivalent of you telling me that I'm a grieving man, my heart is hurt and broken. You just need to forget about it and move on. Not understanding my circumstances. But if you still believe in that, right? If you still believe that, you're righteous for saying that, then that is totally on you. But I would say this, if you believe in, what's the thing? Oh, karma, right? If you believe in karma, right? Sometimes situations will come back around and test you for real. I am a firm witness to that. So my brothers and sisters who are watching, right? This live, I just want y'all to understand where my heart is at, that I'm still in this situation. I'm still dealing with it even to this day. Even though, I'm looking, oh, Urban, he looking like this. He cool, whatever. Urban, he look like Kevin Samuels and shit, and he doing this and that and that. He look happy. Yeah, trust me, I'm happy. And I want y'all to understand this clearly. I'm happy with my life. I am absolutely happy with my life. I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I'm happy that through my circumstances that I dealt with, it has shaped and molded me to the man that I am right now. I'm happy for that. I'm happy and I'm ecstatic for that. But at the same time, I still have that wound in my heart. Still have a wound in my heart. Because I just haven't received closure from it. Not depressed or anything like that. And when I say I have beef with God, I ain't saying that I'm mad at God and I'm pissed off at God. Want to beat God up. Nope. That ain't what I'm saying. That ain't what I'm saying at all. So hopefully in this episode, it'll just give y'all a thought-provoking situation where it challenged you to not look at my personal anecdotal experience about what I'm dealing with God, but it challenged you as an individual to really look deep within yourself and see where your relationship truly relies with God. For real. If you believe in God, by the way. If you believe. So you should examine yourself, because even the Bible talk about that. You should examine yourself. You really should. Because when that call happens, when that moment happens where a critical situation occurs in your life, and that critical situation is going to test the very fiber of you, the very fiber of your being, you're going to have to make a choice. And also, do you know that there are people out here who haven't survived well? They didn't survive this, right? And they literally gave up. They gave up their life. They unalived themselves. And no, brother, no point of this live have I ever asked for anyone help. I don't know where you got that interpretation from. I'm not asking for y'all help because I know y'all can't help me anyway. But I don't know, brother. I don't know if you in the chat. I don't know if you're trolling, right, or being genuine. Because I'm really, in a way, I'm kind of looking at your comments, but I'm not, right. But no, I didn't ask for none of your help because I know y'all can't help me anyway. Am I preaching to you? No. All I'm doing is sharing you my experience. And you could take it for how the way you want to take it. So other than that, y'all, appreciate y'all tuning in to this particular episode, right? And I just want y'all to just consider it. You don't have to believe it or whatever. If that's where you at, that's fine. Unlike, what people do to me, I don't judge people unrighteously. Wherever you at, I'm fine with it. That's cool. I accept it for what it is. But hopefully, my story will give y'all an understanding of, why I do the things that I do. Why I share the things that I share on this channel. All right. My hope for y'all tonight who listen to me, my hope tonight is that wherever things that, if you are going through certain type of situations, right, my hope is that you'll be able to persevere through these things, where you'll be able to share your story. If you have a religious mindset, my hope is that you get out of that religious mindset and start serving the Most High wholeheartedly with your heart, and not doing it because you're just trying to be seen or be heard, or trying to say that you could quote 50-minute scriptures good, like the Pharisees and Sadducees. So other than that, my brothers, appreciate you tuning into this episode. I will be going live tomorrow for more thought-provoking conversations. Those of y'all who are not sub up to this channel, make sure you sub up to this channel to get this thought-provoking conversation. Also, those of you who are sub up, make sure you have your notifications set when I do go live. So when I'm live, you could be here in the lounge as well with me too. So other than that, brothers, thank you so much. And y'all have a great and wonderful night.